Now, what happens is we have this lack of self. We are attracting people in our life to keep reflecting back this lack of boundaries, and we have the potential and the ability to heal it, to reenact it, to establish our boundaries, and some of it may not feel comfortable. You may have to have a little bit of tension to say, no, this is not okay. Welcome back to another episode on the Daily Vortex Podcast. My name is Doughty, and today we're going to be going deep on understanding how magnetic energy is formed from having boundaries. People respect you more, you respect yourselves more. Understand more about setting boundaries in general and why it's really the key to success, manifesting your dream life, manifesting love. Setting boundaries has so many different areas of our life that it trickles into. And there's a way to do this without feeling guilty. And if you do feel guilty about setting boundaries, then there's a couple of reasons for that. And we're going to talk about that in this episode as well. But I'm also going to kind of take you along my journey of me setting my own boundaries, how this has completely changed my life. I would say that my success is in direct proportion to my ability to set boundaries. And one of the reasons this is because when many of us go through a spiritual awakening, what happens is we become very intuitive and sensitive to other energies. And what happens is many people that then become sensitive and intuitive to other energies, they forget to harness the container of their own energy, and they're more willing to say yes to other people. Friends want to hang out. Yes, I feel guilty if I say no. If there's something else going on, like some, there's many different layers to boundaries, whether that's in love and relationships. If you don't have boundaries and you let people take advantage of you, you're draining your life force energy. And what happens is then that person, it's actually the opposite of magnetic. It's very repelling because if people don't respect people that don't have boundaries. And I want to share with you my journey through this process so you can kind of see maybe how you can learn to set boundaries and how not to feel guilty. This year, these last 4 months, I think I've been through more emotional and shadow work integration than I've ever have in my life. And a lot of this had to do with me becoming aware of my old childhood wounding and how that childhood wounding has affected my own energy and how I show up in the world. And ever since doing this kind of work, it literally feels like if you were to watch Aladdin, it's like a whole new world on the magical carpet ride. That's what it feels like. It feels like literally a whole new world. And it's because now I realize, there's an option. If friends want to go do something and I don't want to do it, I can decide not to and not feel guilty. Before, I would decide not to, and I'd be at my house I should probably be there right now. I don't know if they're happy. Are they happy with me? Do they approve of me? Are they going to be talking bad about me? There's all these negative thoughts going through, or I just feel this urge, to go do it, rather than just realizing that I could choose not to. Feeling guilty is a result of identifying and thinking it is your responsibility to make someone else happy or to do something someone else wants you to do, and in a way lose yourself. So a lot of what we're talking about when it comes to boundaries is understanding frame as well. Are you in your own frame? The reason I say that boundaries are a direct proportion of success is because when you are in your own frame and you protect that frame because you are on a mission, you have a purpose, you're in a certain direction, what happens is then other people respect it. But when you have a frame, you have direction, you have purpose, you have energy, movement, you have momentum. So think of it like that. The main thing that you're going to get from this episode as well, just in general, is realizing how to take your energy back and how to put it inside of your own body. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. Taking energy back, putting it inside of your own body, and knowing who is you and who is other people. Because when we have a lack of boundaries, we also tune ourselves to other people's. And as we tune ourselves to other people, what happens is we then start to feel what they're feeling as an empathic ability that we all have, but some people more sensitive than others. And then we identify with what they're feeling, and we lose ourselves. Now, let me first off share a little bit of a story for this, just in general. My journey through boundaries. When I look back at my success on YouTube, back in 2017, many of you know I went daily on YouTube. Before that, though, I would have friends that wanted to hang out, wanted to drink and smoke weed, and they're still good friends, but the idea was, I was transitioning in from being somebody that was like, doing those things a lot, smoking weed and drinking and partying, and it just didn't resonate with me as much anymore. I liked studying metaphysics. I liked reading books. I liked being in nature, and my interest just kind of changed. But I remember friends would want to go to a party, and maybe I didn't feel like going to the party, but I'd get sucked into it. Now, even realize this, by the way, I had a friend yesterday, and I was telling him about the transformation of masculine, feminine energy that I've gone through recently. And I could tell by the way he said certain things. He was talking to me about a girlfriend that he had 4 years ago. And what happened is 4 years ago, he was going out with this girl for years, or I don't know how long, maybe it was a longer term relationship. They went to some foreign country. And on that foreign country, after 1 or 2 days there, he just got to this bubbling point to where he said, okay, this isn't going to work anymore with her. And what he told me was that he actually tried to break up with her 2 or 3 times before that, but she kept sucking him back in. Now, what I told him is I said, I want you to become aware of the language you used to explain how you got sucked back in with this girl. And he's like, oh, this chick I dated, she had a strong frame. Well, what happened is he had lack of a frame. She had a strong frame. He would try to break up with her, and she would say, no, you're not breaking up with me. And he'd say, okay. But what happens is, his is also a friend of mine that's working through masculine, feminine integration and polarity in a way too, because he notices that he attracts women into his life that are more masculine polarity, even though they may look feminine. And he also tends to date women that are also bisexual. So it was like a woman that also like other women and they like men. So it's this interesting thing because he also has a very equal balance of masculine and feminine energy. And over the last 6 months, I've been going through my own shadow work integration coach, similar patterns where I've been letting go of, especially becoming aware of terminology I was using that reflect my own belief and my own set of boundaries and my own frame. I'd say, oh, it's hard to let this go because then this person will reach out to me and then I get sucked back in. And it's like, oh, I said the same freaking thing months ago, sucked back in. Now, though, that I have a strong frame, I wouldn't allow myself to get sucked in because I'm in my own reality. You see, if that ex-boyfriend always reels you back in, if he reels you back in, it's because you allow him to. You have a belief that says he can reel you back in. You see, so our beliefs are direct reflections of the language you use is a reflection of the beliefs we have about women, about men, about love, about boundaries. If you believe, I have friends that have very hard time saying no to friends that need help. I know somebody that goes to my friend for every, the whole group of friends will go to this one friend for relationship advice and advice in general. And they'll be very codependent people, and she feels like she can't bear her own boundaries or say no. But when you look at the belief system or the language that she'll use, it's obvious that she's saying she believes that she can't say no. It's not even an option. She believes it's literally her responsibility to fix her friends. And then you could become aware of the belief system that says, well, I'm not a good friend unless I'm always there for my friends no matter what. But from a different perspective, maybe, this is kind of where I've been trying to show her, maybe you're enabling that kind of behavior. Maybe by every time you pick up the phone and you help your friends respond to a text from somebody and you spend, hours making someone feel better, maybe not only is that draining your energy, but maybe also that's enabling them to come back to you over and over and over again, and they just start to assume that that's just your role, and you start to assume that that's just your worth. So a lot of times boundaries come from a lack of self-worth, and what if we haven't set boundaries And there's beliefs there that say, this is my responsibility. This is what I'm worthy of. And maybe you're afraid to like set those boundaries. Well, my friends have been coming to me for years for advice. If I were to say no and just start like, having boundaries, they would think I'm a dick. Well, guess what? This is where the work comes in, because then you realize, well, that's their shit to deal with. If they're mad at you because you're not giving them what they need, then you're not even really a true friend anyways. You're a drug to them. You're something they're addicted to. I have friends that it's like, oh, well, if you don't come to this trip that I planned, it's like, oh, I feel guilty because I'm not going on this trip. But I realized that by me going on a trip, I would be losing myself and throwing my own priorities to the side to go on this trip. And if I was afraid and feeling guilty because what would my friends think? Well, then guess what? That's not really love. That's like, well, I love you if. It's conditional love. I love you if you go to this thing that I'm planning. You see the difference there? That's not true love anyways. That's enabling. It's also enabling. I'm enabling somebody to feed into their paradigm in exchange for hopefully they give me validation. I don't feel guilty. Do you guys see the difference here? Now, there's certain patterns that I've been attracted in my life the last like 6 months to a year to my whole lifetime, really. But I'm learning how to navigate through this energy in a Jedi mind trick yogic type way. For example, I have this pattern. Many of you know that in my childhood, from 7 to 16 years old, I had the narcissistic ex-stepmom in my life. 16 years old, my dad divorced her, didn't have to deal with her again, but I kept attracting people in my life that would try to, in a way, take my energy. Narcissistic people that have a strong frame that want to take from other people who they can get energy from. And sometimes it's a subconscious thing. They're not even aware of that. But anytime you are playing according to someone's frame, if it's because then they're feeling a sense of worthiness, you're feeling a sense of validation, and okay, I'm good enough, I don't feel guilty, then it's an exchange. It's not real. However, I become aware of these different patterns that come into my life where then I have to, like, in a way, stand up for myself. I'll tell you guys a little story. We won't go too much in detail about this, but basically, I have this house that has been remodeled in Sedona, which is amazing. I'm in the podcast room right now. I have some art that's going to come back here, and I'm super excited about. And I had this whole house in 3 weeks completely renovated. Now, the energy in Sedona is very high vibe. I feel really good when I'm here. I love Sedona. Moving here is like, I've only been here a week, but I love it. Now, this house is a completely different house than a month ago because I had, the way that my energy works is I am very assertive. Even though the people-pleasing mentality came up sometimes and I've been shedding it, I'm very assertive in some ways, and I'm, in a way, impatient. It's just my personality. I move very quick. So one thing that I did is when I was sourcing contractors to work on this house, I found people, some people said, it'd be like 6 to 8 weeks minimum to get what I needed done. I found some people said they could do it in 3 to 4 weeks. This is a clip from the Daily Vortex Podcast where I post 2 times a week, and we go really deep on understanding consciousness, understanding how to raise our vibration, how to bring these spiritual concepts down to earth in a relatable and practical way. For the whole entire episode, you can click the link below, but also subscribe to that of the Daily Vortex Podcast on either iTunes or Spotify. That's where there are a backlog of over 100 episodes, plus the whole entire episode length is there. On this channel, you will only be seeing clips moving forward. So if you want the whole episodes, you can click the link below. You can subscribe. They're also very easy to listen to. They're automatically downloaded once you subscribe, plus you'll never miss an episode. So this is where most of my intention is and my energy is going these days, and I look forward to bringing you many more amazing episodes. But for the rest of this episode, you can click below and you can subscribe to the Daily Vortex Podcast, and I look forward to helping you expand your consciousness in a very practical and relatable way. So I'll see you on the next episode, and as always, peace, much love, and namaste.